Hey guys, happy Monday to you. I don't know if you're like me and you've ever been in a situation where you're in a conversation with somebody and halfway through the conversation you realize that they know you but you don't know them. And man, how terrible that makes you feel. Or maybe you're like me and you're terrible with remembering people's names, and that always makes me feel bad, and I try to get better at that. But man, it makes me remember today and be thankful today that we don't have that with Jesus, the creator of the universe. He knows our name. And it says in John, it says that his sheep, his followers, know his voice. I love this passage in John 10, verse 3 through 4. It says this: to him, the gatekeeper opens, the sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. And when he has brought out all his own, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. Man, I love that passage. I love the idea that Jesus, the creator of the universe, God the Father, the Holy Spirit, like they know our name. Another instance of this happening is in John verse 20. Mary goes to the tomb, and Mary doesn't recognize Jesus at first. It says that she sees him from far away, and she says, "Tell me where you have laid him," not realizing that this was Jesus whom she was speaking to until this. In verse 16, when Jesus says to her, "Mary," she turned and said to him, "Rabbi," which means teacher. When Jesus said her name, she then knew who she was talking to. I love that passage where it says, "My sheep know my name." And then it says this, it says, "I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for his sheep." And I love that passage. You are maybe not a pastor if you're watching this right now. You're maybe not a pastor. You're maybe not called to be a shepherd. But in some instances, we are all called to love those around us. We're all called in that circumstance to be a shepherd, to love those around us. And it says this: no greater love than this, than someone who lays down his life for his friends. Jesus laid down his life for us, and God may be calling us, maybe not to death, but to do similar things of putting our own desires aside to look out for the well-being of others. And that is my challenge to you today. What is God calling you to do? Martin Luther King Jr. said this: it's time for us to develop a kind of dangerous unselfishness where we begin to look out for others' needs above our own. May that be a challenge. May that be an inspiration to you this morning. May that be an inspiration to us all.